Today we return to the Marvel Gamerverse with Wolverine versus Silver Samurai on Way I Got It Figured.
The way I got it figured.
What's up, figure fans? Way I Got It Figured back with another Marvel Legends Gamerverse review. This time we've got our third 3-pack. We're looking at Wolverine versus Silver Samurai. So Wolverine has made several appearances in the Marvel Versus games. Silver Samurai, I guess really only a couple. Both of them first appeared in X-Men Children of the Atom way back in '94. And Wolverine is taking his cues off of the design of that version of Wolverine. Silver Samurai is also kind of doing that same thing, even though he's basically a straight remold of the Silver Samurai retro card figure from a couple of years ago. Picked these guys up at GameStop in my slow quest to get all of the Gamerverse figures. And we're going to look at them. We're going to get into these guys. Wolverine is actually, hilariously, ironically, one of the figures I was anticipating the most, even though I have so many Wolverines that I really just don't want any more Wolverines. Now I'm looking for reasons to not buy Wolverine, but I did want this one. And I guess our question is going to be is this the definitive Wolverine? Because the Gamerverse guys, can in a sense double as comic book guys. And so it's going to be kind of like what interpretation of Wolverine in the quote-unquote comic book style, are you gonna go with? So we can get to that. We're gonna go over the packaging, get these guys out, show them off with their effects, and compare them with some other figures, or at least compare Wolverine with some other figures. I don't have another Silver Samurai. And then get you out of here with some final thoughts. So we got our Marvel Legends series, Marvel Gamerverse packaging, continuing the trend from the Marvel Versus games, Capcom fighting games that they did back in the 90s. Still to this day, some of my favorite video games. I play them, a lot more often than people think. But not on like new systems. I still have, Sega Saturn. I still have a Dreamcast. I still have older systems where these video games, I can play them forever, really. You got Wolverine on the side with Marvel vs. Capcom face. You got your pretty cool fighting poses of these guys on the back. You got Silver Samurai over here. Now, funny thing is, Silver Samurai wasn't on the game where they used his face like this, but I think it's cool that they did it. Back to the back. Very small text. The mutant Wolverine unleashes his adamantium claws against the martial arts master and foe to the X-Men, Silver Samurai. And you can see some of the other guys. I don't have the War Machine and Omega Red pack as yet, but I do have the others. So we're going to get these guys out. Check them out. So we have Wolverine and Silver Samurai out of the package with all their accessories. Come with quite a few things. Not the most they've ever something could come with, but they come with enough stuff. Starting with Silver Samurai, of course, he comes with his empowered sword, the giant energy shuriken he throws in the game. Sword, just make sure I got it in the camera good. It's like translucent, it's like almost like a lightsaber. Your power effect that you attach to the sword. You get 2 stands for the various effects. I do think they're pretty decent touch because you don't really get that with Marvel Legends very often. Got little 2 stands there. These claw effects, and they do have little posts in them to go with the stand. And of course, these are probably the coolest thing in the box that aren't the figures. And you got Wolverine's unclawed fisted hands, and they are pretty large hands for our pretty large Wolverine. So I guess we'll start with Silver Samurai since he's sort of the kind of booby prize of the set of the 2. He's a complete, like I said before, he's just a complete redo of the Silver Samurai from the retro card, but with a different sheen to the silver. I mean, they didn't even eliminate the pins like they did with Venom in the arms. They didn't do anything with him. He's got pins all around, and that's fine. The thing that made this set at least attractive to me is because I didn't have a Silver Samurai at all. So I didn't buy the retro card one, and since I didn't have it, then that kind of adds value to the set because obviously I wanted it for the Wolverine, and I'm not gonna get the other one. So there you go. As far as the man himself, Wolverine, he is right out of the Marvel Capcom series. So starting with Children of Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom 2. I don't think Wolverine appears. Well, he's like he's not playable in Marvel versus Capcom, but he is like a call-in character. So all the way through those games, this is kind of the representation of Wolverine after Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They came back with the so-called, it's not really 3D, but it was, 3D-esque, still 2D fighter, but 3D kind of graphics. And yeah, I think he's really cool. Now he is large, he is big, and a lot of people purportedly canceled their orders when they found out how large he was going to be. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really care. In the comic books, even though Wolverine is 5'3" in the comics, once Hugh Jackman took over the role of Wolverine back in like 1999 or whatever, they started kind of making Wolverine a little bit taller in the comic books. Still short, but not 5'3". Um, but if it throws off your aesthetic, believe me, I get it. I deal with this with Transformers all the time. But with Wolverine kind of being a one-off, it doesn't really bother me as much. When he's, kind of in a pose or whatever, I'm not really paying too much attention to it. But I would say the X-Men 97 Wolverine definitely makes a good substitute if you don't want to go there. So, what makes this Wolverine so unique It is the exaggerated appearance, the exaggerated proportions, the exaggerated claws. It's that whole look. He's like right out of the video game. And I would say of all the figures that they've done, or at least that I've gotten, he is the most right out of the video game as anybody. Even with Thanos's, they gave Thanos the head that he has in the video game and changed the colors up and everything like that. Changed his boots even. But Wolverine is just straight out off the screen, and he is pretty posable, and he does look really good. So you got your super long claws and his really sharp mask wingtips. Kind of do his jumping pose, and you can do his kick pose. And he looks, he just looks really good. Kind of his Shraahhhh pose. Weapon X. Super attack. Gear up Silver Samurai real quick. I'm throwing his throwing star. And you get kind of the point of what you can do here. Definitely, I would say this is probably sloppily done, but they don't really cooperate all that easily. It just takes some time to manipulate them. And for the sword, you can just kind of stick the power effect on there. Fits on there well enough. Not really much to it. But that's sort of the basics of what you're going for there. So we're going to get in some comparisons with, showing at least Wolverine anyway with some other guys. Be right back. So I figured for starters, I'd show him off with some other Wolverines. I have 5 yellow and blue Wolverines, but every single one of them is different. None of them paint match exactly. But you can see from the size perspective, he's much larger than them. The Astonishing Wolverine is an upscaled Wolverine. He's actually taller than the standard size Wolverine, which the X-Men 97 Wolverine is representing. But the Gamerverse Wolverine is even taller than that. And I figured I'd bring in some other recent Wolverine. So you got your Hot Claws Wolverine and your OG. I believe this is I got it from a flea market, so, but I think it's the Love Triangle Wolverine. But I bought him at a flea market, so yeah, that's why he's like how he is. But yeah, he's much larger than them. And I suppose if you're going to be a strict scale guy, then I guess, I can see why it would bother you. But I just think the figure and what you can do with it overcomes really all of those objections. It's just a really great figure for Wolverine. Um, so even if I don't use it as my quote unquote main Wolverine, if I ever do a display of versus guys, that's the Wolverine that's going to go in that display. But I just think he's an all around great figure. And to get him some screen time with some of his Gamerverse contemporary heroes, you get your Captain America and your Psylocke. And I feel like both of them are like super great figures. Both of them are upgrades. I mean, they're both awesome. They are. Wolverine is just a little bit even more awesome than them in my mind. But these guys are all. I mean, they're probably all going to make it on a top 10 Marvel Legends list. I mean, I just think that they've really knocked it out of the park for the most part with these guys. Nothing's ever perfect, but these are really great versions of these characters. Captain America with the often asked for butterfly joints, Psylocke, on a new, more voluptuous body. I think it's, you know, what else could you ask for? And of course, it's the Versus series. And who are they versing? They're versing the heroes and characters of Capcom. Most easily represented by Street Fighter. Two two biggest characters in Street Fighter. Two of the biggest characters in Street Fighter, Ryu and Ken. And he's about the same height as them, so he's not like super tall. And I realized, he is tall, but in the video game, he's actually like hunched over a lot. You can kind of do that with this figure. So there's Alpha 3, Ryu and Ken. Got Jada Toys, Blanca, and Dhalsim. And I know Blanca doesn't actually appear in a versus game other than as a background character in X-Men versus Street Fighter, but you know, I like that figure and I wanted him to be in the video, so there he is. And while not strictly from a video game, we've got Sabretooth, Wolverine's arch nemesis, and then we've got video game color Venom. And yeah, pretty cool. So we'll say that's last but not least. I'm gonna move on to final thoughts. Final thoughts on Marvel Legends Gamerverse Wolverine versus Silver Samurai. Hey, I'm super happy with this set. It wasn't the one I anticipated the most, but I definitely anticipated the Wolverine a lot. I wanted it. I just like that look for the character. Always did. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the games, and even though he is definitely a little bit off scale, I am still pretty happy with him. I'm not going to let it ruin my experience for a really great take on Wolverine. Silver Samurai, I mean, he's really just a repack with an extra accessory, and that's cool and everything. He's not like some kind of A, B, or even C list character. He's definitely like a D list villain. But I'm still happy to get him because I just didn't have him. So the value was there for me. It was worth getting the Silver Samurai to get the Wolverine. And I do think that if you're really a fan of the games and everything, this Wolverine you want it. I think that it's a Wolverine you want in your collection. So with that, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Where I got a figure rank, not going to make it a perfect set. It's not perfect. But Wolverine is really good. As you can see, you can kind of set everything up. Nobody's falling over. And yeah, it's definitely worthy of it. I think Wolverine on his own is a 10 to me. He's definitely one of the best Marvel Legends they put out this year. He just is. I'm very happy to have him. So I'm gonna leave it there. We're not done with the Gamerverse. Not yet, not by a long shot. But please stay tuned. We got more Marvel Legends coming, as well as all the other things we normally cover on the channel. You know what I think about Wolverine and Silver Samurai, but give me your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Get a conversation going. I do love getting comments from my viewers. If you're a new viewer, new to the channel, also, please leave a comment and consider subscribing. We're definitely working our way up there, and we got plenty of content coming. Please stay tuned. Till next time, everybody stay safe. Happy collecting. See you on the next video. Peace.
The way I got it figured.